Today we have some posts courtesy of Premium Edition Games. If you've read the title, you'll already know what's in the box, but I thought I'd start off talking about the company, who they are, and why they began this wonderful journey. And to quote JP himself,
So I asked myself what's even better than just sharing news about Nintendo Switch games? Making them.
So grab yourself a drink, sit back, relax, and enjoy as we find out more about Premium Edition Games. If you're on social media and collect Switch games, you'll no doubt have come across JP's Switch Mania in some capacity. He has a clear love for physical media, like a lot of us do, but he took this one step further and actually decided to co-found a company with Jeff, who he also does a podcast with, dedicated to preserving games in a physical format. But who else is on the team? I put forward some questions for JP to answer, and Trekking Retro is providing the voice for his responses. So JP, would you like to introduce the team behind Premium Edition Games?
Happy to. First off, thank you so much for the opportunity to let your viewers and followers know more about Premium Edition Games. My name is JP, and as Emmett mentioned before, I'm a Nintendo Switch collector first and foremost. Shortly after the Switch came out, I decided to go for a full set of English supported games worldwide and haven't let up yet. That love and obsession turned into me starting my JP Switch Mania channel to share my passion with everyone. The start of the Switch Mania playcast with Jeffrey and now Barry as well. From there, Jeffrey, who is a published author, asked if I'd like to contribute to his The Switch Collector book series that will chronicle the physical and many digital releases on a year-by-year basis. Fast forward, and early talks about forming a publishing company turned into reality. So, I think that's enough about me. For more information on the team, the link to the About Us is in the description.
In August of last year, Premium Edition Games released a direct style video where we first got a glimpse of what games they would be releasing for the Nintendo Switch. But I wanted to ask, when did the idea originate, and what targeted them to these games in particular?
Jeffrey and I began early discussions about forming a physical publishing company a good 1 to 1.5 years before we officially launched in August 2020. As the months went by, we continued to record the weekly playcast series and developed a real friendship. When the topic of publishing came around again, we both felt it was the right time to really move this forward, and we targeted August as when we would reveal ourselves. Prior to that initial direct, we had already been developing a list of games that didn't have a physical but really should. Super Blood Hockey was on that list, and when we had the opportunity to speak with the developer Lauren Lemke and the digital publisher Digirati, we took it. It didn't take long before all parties knew this was a perfect fit, and our first title was solidified. With Pigeon Dev Games Collection, I had the pleasure of already knowing the digital publisher, sometimes you through my time with my own channel. Initial talks led to discussions about creating a multi-cart application with multiple titles on one cartridge, something that is rarely done in the US and only a handful of times in the EU and Japan region. With the developer Pigeon Dev on board, we couldn't pass up the chance to offer this awesome, pun intended, collection.
Unfortunately, not all games get a physical release, but with companies already out there trying to bring us games in this way, what makes Premium Edition Games any different? Well, part of it for me is the way they're keeping all these releases uniform. You know, when you look at your shelf and you see these Mega Drive games, for example, they always look out of place even when they're displayed in alphabetical order. Well, with Premium Edition Games, you won't have this issue with any of their releases. They plan to keep the uniform look, so if in 10 years' time, when they've released, say, 100 games, none of them will look out of place. If you're wondering why they're only focusing on the Nintendo Switch, and whether that would change in the future, I had to ask.
This one's easy to answer. I absolutely have fallen in love with the Switch, and being a part of the awesome Switch core community and just the gaming community in general has only strengthened that. It's because of the Switch that I have met so many amazing people that I can now call friends, have a really fun and active social media channel, the Switch Mania playcast series, the Switch Collector book series, and now a publishing company. For me it was a natural choice, and for Jeff as well. There's just so many amazing games on the eShop, and our entire team feels so fortunate that we now get to play a role in preserving these games for generations to enjoy.
Do you ever remember going to your favourite video game outlet, picking up that NES game, taking it home, unwrapping it and opening the box? Well, with these games you'll get that same sense of nostalgia, because all the games include these red sleeves, which is very reminiscent of the NES. To me, it's a great attention to detail for gamers of a certain age. Moving on before I feel too old. This is no doubt a company by collectors for collectors. Not only do you get the slipcover, but also with deluxe editions there are full colour strategy guides as well. Who remembers walking into your local game store, seeing a guide for almost every game? Anybody? Oh, just me then, okay. And if that's not enough, we already know they have a third release planned in the form of a robot named Fight coming in the summer of 2021. But being a collector, I just had to ask, JP, no doubt you're already working hard on your third release, but do you have your eyes already on a fourth?
Who said a robot named Fight is our third release? In all seriousness though, we have been working on a robot named Fight since we have launched officially and before. We know this is a release that everyone has been asking us about every single day, and the wait is so going to be worth it. Just wait until we reveal the packaging, artwork and steelbook, yep, and more. We're going to do this game the respect it deserves.
I hope you enjoyed this brief look into the company and the unboxing of what to expect with Premium Edition games. If you'd like to check out these releases for yourself, or even just to keep an eye on their next release, all the links are in the description below. And as the team at Premium Edition Games would say,
let's get physical.
And as always, happy gaming.